Hello everybody and welcome to Cam. I had a look on iTunes earlier at the rankings just to see where we were actually at, because we always say we're the best podcast, which we clearly are. But I typed cycling into iTunes. Do you know where we were?
What, in the cycling category?
Cycling related, yeah.
60th.
I wish. Mate, we weren't even on the list.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does that mean people don't relate to this as a cycling podcast? I don't know. But when you type in the gruppetto, it's a second up. So we've got work to do.
It's not even the first on gruppetto.
It's not even the first, no. Cameron Jeffers, co-host of the gruppetto. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction, Chris. It's nice to, have a bit of a proper introduction for a change.
I need to keep reminding that everyone that you are the co-host, not just a guest on the show. And we have got a guest coming up shortly who's sat here waiting patiently, so we're going to get to him shortly. Probably one of the best, I say this every time, probably one of the best guests, especially if you're a YouTube fan.
You can't say this because you're going to upset the previous guests. They're going to be like, I didn't even think I'm the best.
The previous aren't listening.
They might
The only person that's listening now is the current guest. But listen, when you see who it is, when you hear who it is, it's going to be exciting. Now, there's so much I want to talk about, but before we do, Cam, real quick, let's tell everybody what we did today. What did we give away, man?
We went to Manchester, didn't we? We met up in Manchester and with the winner of the first ever Win Your Dream bike competition, which is Pritchard from Corby. He got himself a brand new Pinarello F12, and I was quite surprised at the colour he picked, Chris.
I'm not. I kind of wanted him to go for that.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was a good colour. He went for the
bright
orange.
Bright orange.
I really liked
it. If you're gonna ride around on an expensive bike, then it might as well be bright, right?
If it was my choice, it would have been pink, but it was good enough. But hey, so exciting to actually do that. To start with the idea, to then go through designing the website, getting the business ready, and then actually giving away a bike. I was so excited.
He was so happy as well. Like he just couldn't stop smiling. And do you know when you get excited, you start talking real fast? I do it so much. He was just like talking so fast the whole day. It was cool.
Was amazing. Shall we get on with this guest?
Let's do it.
23.5 million. In fact, let's have. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this awesome, amazing, special guest. He's known around here for being vegan and being a cyclist. 448 videos I think he's put out on his channel since 2014. 23.5 million views on his channel. Everybody knows him as the vegan cyclist, but if you're good friends with him, he lets you call you Tyler. Tyler Pierce, welcome to the gruppetto. How you doing, mate?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. And I just want your listeners to know how many times we've tried to do this.
In the last 10 minutes, we've tried about 100 times to do this.
This has been a long time coming, bro. So I'm super excited to be chatting with you. And dude, a lot has been going on, and I'd love. I don't want to sound douchey, but it's hard to sometimes have a conversation with someone that really understands what you're going through sometimes. And I think Cam, definitely, I want to talk to you about a few things, like controversy. I just dealt with some controversy, and I did not deal with it well. So I was wondering, how that mentally wrecked you, because my Whoop band, Whoop, I was able to see a bunch of these analytics of just like serious anxiety and like depression and like what happened to my body when I went through this, like what seemed at the time the worst controversy ever, but really in hindsight, it's like, that's not that big a deal. And then I'd also like to talk to you about like what it's like being a full-time YouTuber. It's been something that I've kind of kicked around a little bit, but I'm not currently a full-time YouTuber, and am afraid to make that jump a little bit. And then I'd love to chat with you about what you're doing for racing and how, dude, like I'm not really that great of a racer. And I wouldn't have said before 2020 that it was a part of my like identity or how important it was to me. But now that I'm realizing it's not like, I can't do it. Like, I'm just like, I don't have any time with the boys. Like, I got nothing going on. Like, it's just my family, which I love them. But at a certain point, dude, I'm trying to like get that primal urge of like going to war with other dudes.
It's funny, actually. I was talking to someone the other day about this, and I was saying, like, for me personally, I've raced bikes of some sort. I started racing BMX back when I was about 7 years old, before switching to road cycling when I was about 15 or 16. And it's like I was saying to someone the other day, like, you don't really think about it in the moment, but suddenly, as soon as like that competitiveness is taken out of your life, and as soon as you're, like you said, you're not away racing with the boys, and it's weird, man. Especially, I've been competitive. I've raced bikes and of some sort literally every year of my life since I was about 7 years old. So like, it's such a weird time, man. And it's definitely been hard. Like, it's I just find myself going for Strava comms at the minute.
But I mean, if you completely like just accepted that you're not going to be racing until 2021, and maybe that's even still not even like a guarantee.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, is it gonna? I think some people at the minute are under the illusion like January the 1st, everything's going to be back to normal. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if at least some of next season's kind of postponed or cancelled. Whether we start racing in May or June as opposed to February and March. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'd still kind of had that thought in the back of my mind that we are going to be racing this year, and I was still training like real hard, and I was in pretty good conditions actually, because we were supposed to be going out to Belgium in September to do some commerce racing and stuff for 3 or 4 weeks out there, just because there's not going to be much in the UK at all, and there's still going to be some racing in Belgium. But I think in the last couple of weeks their cases have started to increase again, and I think they're starting to go back into some sort of lockdown, and races have been cancelled for kind of August and September already. So I'd say for about the past week, I've sort of had to accept the fact that I don't think there's going to be any racing this year, and I've not ridden my bike a whole lot since that. What about you?
Well, so I got into a little bit of controversy because I went and raced my bike.
So Tyler, before you get into that, I want you to get back into the controversy, but there's a lot of people that won't know what happened. Me and Cam found out about this. Were we away, Cam? Were we in the Alps? Had we just gone away?
We were in France, and
we picked up on your story, and it was I'd obviously missed the post that had been removed or taken down. So I was like, what is he talking about? So
yeah, we're both like that. We're both like, what controversy? Yeah. Someone texted me and I was like, oh, vegans in controversy. I was like, what's going on?
So take us back to the start. How did this controversy come about, and what actually happened?
Yeah, so it kind of started all the way back in March, where, dude, I live in the forest. My town has 500 people. That's the population. And so I don't really like do anything. And as soon as this started ramping up, the town close to me, because dude, it was flip flopping literally by the hour. And so Fresno County was like, just stay in groups under 10. It's healthy to go outdoors. We recommend you ride your bike if you want to. Bike riding is essential. Enjoy the outdoors. Just try not to like make out with people. It was like very a set of guidelines that were very, well, like, this is my life always.
Yeah.
And so then I went and did a group ride with like 8 people. And it was awesome. And then so I like, because it was weird. I had a couple people reaching out. They're like, hey, you're hella quiet on Instagram. Like, why? And I was like, well, I don't know what to create. I don't know what content to create. Like, I don't know how to really, like, it seems like a shitty time. So like, am I supposed to be like, hey, everyone's losing their jobs and lives, and I'm just like, look at this cool rock I rode to, And so, and then I was like, man, let's just go out there and try to, like, for a minute, not think about this. And so then I go out thinking that I'm just doing the world a favor, I'm like taking good pictures. I go home, I post on Instagram, and then I made this whole story about that, like, riding. And then by the time I was done making the story and I went back to the post, it was just comment after comment after comment of being like, I can't believe how inconsiderate you are. Like, fuck you. You know, like I used to be a fan and now you're going to kill your family. I hope your family dies.
Holy
and I was like,
shit.
what? You know, like I had no idea that this was the public perception that riding in a group, not disobeying any orders. That was what was so confusing to me. There wasn't a lockdown that I, you know, violated. You know, it was like the county issued this statement. I was well within that statement.
Yeah, because I think, sorry to cut you. I think what was different about America to the UK, I think with the UK or England in particular, is kind of, well, I guess recently it's different. We have regional lockdowns, but at the start it was like one kind of rule for everything. And am I right in thinking that in America it was each state and, you know, county?
Dude, it was each county. It was each county. So no, you couldn't even. It wasn't even California. It was, you know, you could like Fresno. This is what was so crazy is that Fresno and Clovis, they're like basically one town. But one of them was like, we're staying open. And the other one's like, we're doing mandatory lockdowns. So literally you could like, you know, get your hair cut and walk across the street and then have to, you know, you'd be arrested. So it was like so weird. And so, you know, anyway, I went and did this group ride and then got all this blowback and was like, whoa, I didn't expect this to be. So then I sort of made this apology like, hey, you know, it's, like no one knows what the fuck to do. And so I'm trying to navigate this, but like I didn't break any laws. So like, and then anyway, so I kind of made this apology post and then just didn't do shit for 4 months. Like I didn't leave my house, man. I didn't like get in my car. I didn't do anything. And so then fast forward to July, June in Georgia, they did this stage race. And so I was like looking at it and everything seemed to be great. No one was talking shit. Wonderful turnout, like all like divisions sold out. Right. And so I was like, man, that seems cool. And then I'm just seeing everyone on Instagram riding their bikes with other people without masks. Yes, wear a mask when you go indoors and stuff. But I guess what I chose to see was like a bunch of people riding their bikes and having fun. And so then personally, I guess just like over time, my risk versus reward ratio got really skewed because I wasn't doing anything. I'm not in a hot spot. I don't have people to go ride with, you know? So like, it's not like, oh, hey, you know, I can go ride with these two guys that I always ride with. It's just no one. I'm just riding with no one. And so then I'm like wanting to race so bad. And then, so it's sanctioned by the USA Cycling division, right? So I'm not breaking any laws. I can travel from California to Georgia. You know, Georgia's super laxed about the whole thing. And so then I just got really excited. And then I was like under the impression that I would get a little bit of heat, but that the overall public impression was like, if we can race, let's race.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, dude, let's go race, bro. So I get so excited. Literally, I'm like smiling from ear to ear. I am so excited. My bags were packed like a week before. And I'm just like, yes, dude. And then I even called Canyon and I was like, hey, I don't want to get you in trouble. So like, do I have your blessing? And Canyon's like, yeah, you know, if you make any video content, let's try to like make sure that you're being safe. Like, don't just be wearing, you know, no mask and like, just be considerate. Cause I am a considerate human. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go and kill your grandma. And so I doubled up. I actually wore 2 masks on the plane and hand sanitized it anyway. So then I get to Georgia, I jump in the crit and I'm just like, I can't believe how much I've missed racing. Dude. This whole vibe, dude, the community that I love so much. Like I want to be connected to them. That's what a community is. You know, it's like like-minded people come together and hang out. So I'm just like over the moon, bro. I'm so happy. So then I post the Instagram of my GoPro shots and the post did really well. It was like 3,000 likes, like right away. And then all the comments were positive. There was one guy who was like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? And so then I just explained, like, well, dude, there's like, it's sanctioned, everything, you know, I'm a grown adult. I'm going to accept the risk that I'm healthy. I'm not around anyone who's immune compromised. You know what I mean? We're isolated in the forest. So it's like, for me, you know, it's not that risky. In hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking. You know, it's just like, well, why didn't I just play it safe? Why did I do this? Why did I fly across the country to basically slap a tiger on the ass and be like, what's up? You know what I mean? And so that, like, in hindsight, it's not the greatest decision, but in the moment of like, dude, I'm like breaking down mentally without socializing.
This is what I was thinking. It's, you know, a guy who wants to be within the community has that urge to go and race, and that opportunity arises. You don't often see it with a clear vision. You see it with rose-tinted glasses. It's a race. That's what I want to do, and you just kind of go, and you don't expect the fallout, I guess, that you got. So after all those positive comments,
So what happened though is that everyone is divided on this. Like, no matter what your position is, and you might think that that's the common position, it's not. I mean, the amount of, so anyway, so then what happened was I went and raced. I'm so stoked. Very similar to the first time I did this. I just lay back. I'm like, I'm great. You know, like I've posted great content. And then, you know, Phil Guyman makes an Instagram post saying like, why are people racing in Georgia? This is the stupidest thing you could do. And tried to blast USA Cycling to say, why are you sanctioning events? If you sanction events, people are going to race. People are going to get sick. Just the statistics of it, no matter how safe you're trying to be, someone will die. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I guess that's the reality of it. So he kind of tried to blast, USA Cycling. And ended up what happening is that he gave everyone a voice. Like, he held this flag up, like, you know, don't go race. And so then he also made a YouTube video about it. And it coincided with my post so perfectly that no one wanted to yell at USA Cycling or the promoter of the event or the other 1,000 people that raced this. It was just like, Vegan Cyclists is a piece of shit. And so then everyone who had an opinion came to my Instagram post, and then everyone was tagging me in his stuff. And so then also it was outside of my audience. So it's like people who have no context of who I am whatsoever. And so all they see is this post of me racing and Phil Guyman saying, why are people being stupid? And so then it was just a shit show. Like, I was like, whoa, dude, what is happening? This all came, you know, out of left field. Obviously, in hindsight, it's like, well, of course, something like this was going to happen. But Phil Guyman like built this bonfire up, and it was just, so I became this lightning rod for anyone, both sides, you know, pro race or anti-race. And so then I made an apology post. I really didn't feel like I wanted to make an apology post. So I tried to sort of open up a discussion and be like, well, here's what led me to make this decision. You know, and after traveling, like, obviously it felt a little bit risky. Like, I probably wouldn't travel again during this time. But like, when do you think it's okay to race? Right. That's the question I posed. Right. Because if USA Cycling sanctioned it in a state that says you can race, and I fly from a state that says I can travel, and I'm using all the precautions, I don't, you know what I mean? So what am I doing? And a lot of people have linked, well, face masks and seatbelts are the same thing. And so it's like, okay, if that's the analogy, if I buckle in and I stop at the stoplight and I go the speed limit, am I still an asshole for potentially maybe killing someone on the road? Like, no, you've taken the precautions and you've accepted the risks, and that's life. And so anyway, so then when I put out the discussion, it was just, dude, I'm not political, but as soon as I'm like, hey, what's your thoughts? Trump, 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 Biden, 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 like blah, 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 blah. And it's just, you're in a box.
Yeah.
Like you can't be in the middle. It's like, if you think it's okay to go outside, then you're a Trumper. Or if you think it's okay, to close down businesses, then you're a communist. It's just like, there's no in between. And so then it was just like, I kind of tried to communicate a little bit. And I just thought it was so crazy how everyone was so adamant that their position was correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the spectrum was so wide, like people saying, I won't race my bike or ride with anyone else until there's a safe vaccine, which is, I think, like on the very opposite, like a safe vaccine's 10 years, like minimum to be able to say that that's safe. So you're not going to ride with another human being until that's pretty aggressive. Okay. And then other people on the other end saying, I'm not going to wear a mask ever. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, so where do we fall? And that's where it's like, it's scary even thinking next year, because it's so divided. When do you start racing? If racing is legal and available and you go race, you're going to be publicly shamed by some division of the community. Yeah. And that's what happened with me.
But are like the professionals that are racing now, they're not getting flack for it, are they? It seems to everyone within the cycling community is so excited that the professionals are back racing. Now, I think had your post either not come out or USA Cycling had have posted something similar, then all the comments would have been aimed towards them. But like you said, I feel that because your post came out at a similar time as Phil was having his rant, there was no way of all those angry people venting at USA Cycling, because no one else would have been able to hear it. Your platform is so big that they thought this is a perfect opportunity to get on the megaphone, bring you down, and let everybody know their message. And
also, USA Cycling is a company.
Yeah.
So who do you get to really yell at?
Yeah,
They
they don't have anybody, do they? So they go, well, who's right? He's a real person. He's got a big platform. Let's go and rip into him. And we saw that story, and it clearly.
Well, so the comments. I mean,
you.
because the post got removed by Instagram, too many people flagged it. I guess it said it was inappropriate or violated. I left it up for 4 or 5 days, and then which really was killing me, because every time I got a notification on Instagram, it's just like, you fucking asshole, I hope your family dies. You know what I mean? Or like, Trump, go America. And it was just like, dude, this is not what I meant to do, dude. I don't want to create more division in the community that I love. And so then it was just like the amount of people coming with such hate. And then they started emailing all my sponsors. And that's when it started to get real scary. Like people were emailing Canyon being like, why do you support this person? And then there was this whole Reddit forum that was like, Phil Guyman destroys vegan cyclists. And then the Reddit forum was just like, dude, it was disgusting, man. People saying that I purposely tried to hurt my son at a mountain bike race for views. And it was like, dude, come on, man. And so then people just started ripping me apart as a human. They're like, this fucking douchebag says bro so many times. What a piece of shit, And it's just like, I know you're not supposed to look at that. And I obviously on YouTube, like I'll get a little bit of hate everywhere every now and then, but it's just sprinkled in. This was like condensed. And in the moment, it just felt like the entire world was just zipping down their pants and just turding right on my face. And so then I didn't deal with it. I was like, I don't know what to do. I think everything's over. Like, how do I ever make another post again? And so then I lost like 10 pounds in like a week. It was crazy, dude. I was having an anxiety attack, which I've never had before. So I didn't know anxiety could I just thought like, oh, anxiety is like this mental stress or whatever.
Yeah.
But like my heart rate was like totally different. I couldn't breathe. Like, it was like really, it was just crazy, dude. And so I actually went to the hospital because I was like slurring my words. Like it was just really weird. I was like, I'm not getting oxygen to my brain. And like, it was, and then I go and they were just like, yeah, it's just like it's a panic attack. Like, what are you doing? Like, they were almost like mad that I was there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'd never experienced that before.
Yeah. You could see from that story that you'd clearly been shaken by the situation. Now, I'm sure Cam has got a lot to say on this because, everybody knows what happened with Cam. But I've got to say, like, what were you at the time, 22, 21?
Me, 22.
22, without brown nosing him too much, the way he managed to handle that controversy is textbook. Like, that, yeah. Cam, explain how you dealt with it.
So when I watched it happen, right, it almost seemed like you took a position of like, I don't really care what you guys are saying, and it's not really that big of a deal. And it's so you sort of diffused it as like really well. Like, people couldn't yell at you anymore because you're just like, hey, this happened and whatever, and I'm over it.
Yeah. I think for your case, I think the reason potentially it was so bad is because it creates that mob mentality, right? And it's exponential. So as soon as 2 people see that post, 4 people see it, then 8 people see it, and next thing you know, it spirals out of control, and every fucking news outlet starts posting something, and everyone's stuck at home, right? Everyone's on lockdown, everyone's bored, no one's got anything to do. So they're looking on Instagram, they're looking on YouTube, and they're seeing all these posts. And then because people, they're looking for some sort of entertainment and something to do, then everyone jumps on the bandwagon, right? And everyone starts trying to, get a reply from you and get something back and try and entertain them a little bit. I think, kind of looking in from the outside, but yeah, kind of my own situation. Obviously, everyone knows what happened. And yeah, I think what I did, I knew it was coming out. I got told from someone inside, the organization that it was coming out. So I kind of had my video prepared. The video that I posted saying that I got disqualified and kind of given the full context that potentially, British cycling didn't give. And that it wasn't technically, I technically didn't get told off for, done for cheating or whatever. And then, because I knew it was coming out, and I knew there'd be a shitstorm on social media, just because of we have a following, same as you. We have an online following. As soon as someone sees anyone with an online following, they just love to jump on them and to try and to take them down. So I just booked a flight to France, a one-way ticket to the south of France. Took my bike in a cardboard box and basically just cycled home over the next week. And I just literally turned my phone off. So I don't think I just deleted all my social media. So I didn't have any Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, nothing. I just deleted everything. So I didn't see anything that was going on. There's not a lot of people that have got my phone number. So no one was really texting me or calling me. And I honestly think that was the best thing. I've been told later on that there was a lot of people said stuff on social media and what, as expected. But yeah, even to this day, I've not seen 99.9% of it.
But that's the thing. Like, they've said it, they've thrown it out there, and they forgot about it, and they're just waiting. They're sat there waiting, like for you, Tyler. They're waiting for their response. They want it. They've thrown it out there. They probably haven't even given it a second thought until they get their response that they want, and that's all they want. They just want to be heard. That's it. And like you said,
and then so that was definitely one of my biggest flaws, was that I tried to engage with it, right? I tried to be like, why, like with the hate that was coming, tried to come back with a valid discussion, because I felt like it's good to have a discussion. Dude, it didn't matter what I said, bro. No matter, like, I even had someone say, just go out and say that you're a mask denier and you deny the virus. And it's like, dude, I just said, Phil's right, that maybe we shouldn't have sanctioning bodies giving out, licenses right now. That's what I said. And then somehow, anyway, but I was watching, what was happening. And I was just like, the amount of people that have never heard of you and really are outside of the industry, and then the way that they boxed this was like virtual doping. just comes up with like all of these speculations of what it really wasn't. You know what I mean? And then it was just like, I don't know. I saw some mountain bike post and they had posted about it. And it was just like the comments, I was just like, bro, these people are so fucking ignorant. Yeah. And so then I was like triggered by what they were saying. And I wanted to jump in and be like, you guys are idiots. And so I was just thinking like how you were dealing with it. But, you know, just turning off the phone and riding.
Yeah, man, we did that trip and I was away for a week. And obviously, you know, we're riding all day, every day, because we're bike packing from the south of France back home. It's over 1,000 kilometers. So you're all day on the bike, 7 or 8 hours. By the time, you know, you stop for lunch and some food at the cafes and stuff. And by the time we were getting home, you know, or to the hotels, I was too tired to want to go on social media. You know, we'd make some food and go to sleep ready for the next day. So I just had a week of that. So I had not know that kind of distracted me the whole time. And then even when I came home, I just left my phone off for about 3 weeks. I think it was about 4 weeks in total. I just didn't do anything, didn't post anything, didn't like, I had like BBC and ITV, which are like the two biggest broadcasting services in the UK, like calling me, wanting to do interviews, wanting to come to my house to do an interview. And I'm like, I just didn't do anything. And I think,
would they pay for that?
No. No one, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of, it's like one of my friends texted me saying, "Oh, dude, like there's an article in Forbes, like shit, this is getting real bad." And I think my reply was like, "Sweet, like how many people read Forbes? A lot of people." So
yeah, well,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. And like we've been through a million times. We can talk about it for a million more times. What happened during that was not bad in the slightest. It was a miscommunication from them. And anyway, and same with yours, Tyler. Like there's people on each side of the fence. One think it's bad, one think it's terrible. But then you have the normal people like us who can actually think the process through and go, actually, yeah, I can see why you'd think that going racing would be fine. But then in hindsight, probably not the greatest idea, but he's accepted that. And he's not going out there now and coughing all over people or going to try and organise races. He's accepted it. Let's all move on and crack on. Do you know what I mean? That's where it should be
what's
now.
What's crazy is there's a bell curve of, you know, the crazies on both ends and then the normal people, right? But it's literally, if you flip that upside down, that's how vocal they are. Mm-hmm. So the meat of the bell curve is the least vocal. Yeah. And then the opposite ends are the most. And you'll have people commenting 5 or 6 or 7 times. And so then it feels like 5 or 6 or 7 people, but it's really just one guy who's just like so pissed.
Please listen to me. I need something to listen
But that's it. Like, I think that's why I decided for a month I was just not going to post anything, because I thought, you know, in a month's time something else is going to be the in thing to chat shit about, and something else is going to be what everyone's talking about. Like I think with you know, it'll be the same in your situation. You know, if you don't post anything, if you just kind of like you did, went into a bit of a social media blackout, you know, suddenly fucking racing's back on and everyone's happy because racing's back on, and you know, you start to post videos again. And I honestly don't think people will care. You know, it's the same in my situation. I came home from France, made a video about the French trip, posted it like, I think it was 2 or 3 months after the ban. I went quiet for 2 or 3 months. And, you know, the video fucking took off, and it kind of allowed me to reinvent what I wanted to do and the direction I wanted to take the channel. So, yeah, you know, it'll be the same with you, man. Like, there's too many people supporting you and following you, you know, for you to be cancelled, as everyone keeps fucking saying. Like, there's too many people. You know, you're always going to have more people that will support you than don't support you. You know, you haven't killed someone, right? You haven't maliciously done anything. You haven't doped. Like, it's a weird time. Like from like it might at the time, like now it might not. Right now it might not seem like it, but you know, people will forget and people will move on, and you know, you'll be absolutely fine, mate. Don't stress it.
Well, if anything, he might not that you do this on purpose just for them views, but you've got to look at your channel, Cam, and you did see a distinctive increase in those views, didn't you?
The facts are facts.
Hold
Chris.
on.
Facts.
So, Tyler, you might be.
Yeah, but I think your thing was a little bit different. Like people, because it was so far reaching, right? I mean, yours was like outside of the community, like it was gnarly. And I think that obviously being the first like crowned champion, the roller coaster of emotions you must have gone through.
Oh yeah. It was pretty intense. Like I know I say that I just sort of went off everything and didn't listen to anything, but yeah, everyone. I think you go through the emotions were a bit of a roller coaster, like you said.
Yeah, you didn't push it off, did you?
Like I was following your whole journey through that whole thing, right? Like not making it in and then getting like a wild card and then like just doing so well and then like coming down to like the final race and it's like, oh shit, dude. And then it's like no one better than you could have, given this a platform. Like it was just like a fairy tale of like, wow, dude, he did it. He did the first, virtual championship.
Yeah, against pros.
And then for it to just be so high, just like, damn, dude, like that's so awesome for him. And then literally the complete opposite, like, damn, that sucks for him. That's crazy. But I mean, again, it's like it in the moment, I feel so stupid now when I look back on it. Like, why did I even care? Like, why did I stress so much?
Yeah.
It just feels in the moment, and again, like I'm not a polarizing person. I guess I'm a people pleaser is what I'm finding out is, dude, I want everyone, one dislike sends me off a cliff. You know what I mean? I'm like, why did you dislike my video? And like, I can't deal with that shit, but I got to get better.
But that one dislike is probably from Cam. That's what he does. Every time everyone that's close to him in the community goes dislike, he does it on all mine. Before the video's even watched, dislike.
Mate, come on. Don't out me like this.
Sorry, man. Hey, I do it.
Well, it's just, it's just something I think, some people deal with it differently. Like Duran Rider, bro, like that's all he gets is hate and he just thrives off it. Like that's his whole shtick.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. It's so hard.
I'm the same. Yeah. I'm kind of brushing it off now because the hate I get is normally just stupid stuff. It's nothing very controversial. They just say I'm shit, which is absolutely fine. But yeah. It's better than being controversial. So Tyler,
dude, isn't it? We'll end it off on this. Isn't it weird though that like someone can go out and spend so much time and so much energy to create free content, and it's like you're just presenting someone with like this little nugget of gold, and then they just slap it out of your hand. And you're like, you're a piece of shit, and it's like, whoa, dude, you didn't pay for this, like it's so weird how people are just so quick to just, tear you
it's
apart.
Like the analogy. I watched it last night. Ricky Gervais on his stand-up where he basically says it's similar to Twitter where you can walk out into the town square, read an advert that says free guitar lessons, and you just go, well, I don't want guitar lessons, and then you phone them up and then you tell them I don't want guitar lessons. It's like, they've searched for your video, they've watched your video, and then gone, I hate that video. Like, just back off. Just go and watch something that you do enjoy. Like, there's enough shit going off in the world. You don't need to leave a mean comment. Just move on.
And these people would never say it to you in person either. I remember one guy last year was like Cam's so arrogant. In his video, he's so fucking arrogant. I was like, mate, I'm probably the least arrogant. Like, if you met me in person, I'm probably the least arrogant person you would ever meet. And I was like, have you ever even met me in person? They're like, yeah, I saw you at a race, a crit last like a few weeks ago at one of the town centre crits that we do. He's like, yeah, I saw you there. I was like, did you speak to me? He's like, no. I'm like, well, fucking, how can you say that I'm arrogant then, based on how I come across in a video when you haven't spoken to me in person? Like, you ask anyone that speaks to me at a bike race, I'll spend however long someone wants to speak to me, speaking to them. And sometimes it gets me in trouble with the team because I'm supposed to be warming up for a race or something. But it's like these people would never ever say half the stuff they say to you on the internet in person.
Because they'd say hello and then all of a sudden they go, oh, actually, the opinion I've formed is totally wrong. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see this much of your life and they don't actually see the real person behind it. It's crazy. Tyler, YouTube. Let's talk about it. You claim you're not a full-time YouTuber, yet you've got your 100,000 plaque. You've had over 23 million views. What's the deal, man? What are you afraid of? I guess you've got a family, so you've got to find a stable income, which is very difficult with YouTube, right?
Okay, so I mean, the main thing is that I've built a web development business and a data distribution service to something that's pretty substantial, and we've got a sizable payroll, and it's a company that is it's trucking along, and I don't want to just completely let that go because, dude, YouTube is fickle. And I mean, what if YouTube just all of a sudden said, hey, we're not in business anymore?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? So I'm so afraid that, especially the longer that I'm on YouTube, statistically speaking, the sooner I'm not going to have the platform I have. It's just like every YouTuber sort of has this arc, and some of it's steeper, some of it, is gradual, but at some point you've hit your peak and then you're sort of going to just fade off into the mist. And so to completely hinge my family life and our financial income on something as unstable as YouTube, it's very scary. Also, I make content that I want to make.
Yeah.
I very rarely feel that I have to make a video because of a time deadline or because of a sponsor obligation. And it's just like, I enjoy letting the creative process just come to me unhindered by financial motivation. And so if I was fully a YouTuber, I'm going to have to dry hump every sponsor. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to just be like constantly in the middle of this neat story, because I would say I'm not really good at anything. What I do seem to gravitate towards as my specialty is a good storyteller. And so in the middle of this story that I've been building, to be like, and brought to you by Alpacin, and it's like, fuck, that's like ruins the story. And so I really like to just do what I want to do and create what I want to create. But it has gotten to the point where it's like, man, if I just buckle down and if I did 2 videos a week instead of 1 video a month, like that would be pretty substantial.
Yeah.
And so,
but that's the difficult thing. Like with my channel, I've got the news. It's a regular thing that I don't have to feel that creative about making. I can do odd bits in the edit to make it a bit more creative to kind of make me feel like I'm keeping that creation in there. But like with you, it's hard to think, right, I'm definitely putting 2 videos out. So no matter whether I feel creative or not, I've got to do that. And if you don't have anything, then that's when it becomes that point where it almost becomes a job, and it's the creative side of it is taken away, and it's all about just putting out content. And I think that's like your viewers and Cam's viewers, that's what they love about your channels, is the fact that it's not pandering to a sponsor. It's not pandering to being told what to do with your content. You're like, I want to make content. This is when I feel like making content, and bang, I'm putting out content.
But I think the way I kind of work things, I'm sure it's the same with vegan. Like when a sponsor comes to me and says, look, we want to sponsor a video, I never ever let them dictate to me what that video is going to consist of or what I'm going to say about that sponsor in the video. Like I've got, a few kind of personal sponsors, Ribble Bikes and Veloshore Cycling.
All right, easy.
but what I'm saying is I said to them, I'm not going to be doing a post every day saying how amazing your bikes are or how amazing, your insurance is, I will do trips, I will do challenges and adventures on your bike. And when people see me that I can ride 1,000 kilometers on a bike, and I look happy and I'm enjoying it, then people will kind of allude to the fact that it's a pretty good bike because I'm having fun riding it. I'm not necessarily saying, look, this bike's amazing, go and buy this bike. And I think that's important. And I think the viewers kind of, mine anyway, kind of accept the fact that, look, if I wasn't potentially getting paid to do this, and I wouldn't, have the kind of my own financial resources to be able to and have the opportunity to go and do whatever kind of trip I'm doing. And I think, me in particular, my viewers are pretty understanding of that, luckily. And I've, a lot of my viewers will be the same as yours. So,
well, but it is better for the sponsor or the brand to have an authentic relationship than when it's like this very sponsored, brought to you by type thing. Because, bro, with YouTube, I'll hit that +10, +20 as soon as I hear any sort of sponsorship. You know what I mean? It's like,
that, Tyler. You're supposed to say I watch it all the way through, man.
Dude, I like, if someone starts talking, boom, 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 I'll just, jump it. And so now the sponsor, even though they wanted to push harder, it's lost, right? And so it's more of that, like, with Canyon, the relationship is super good that it's like, I almost never talk about it at all. And so it's there in the background. So if you're interested, you'll direct message me and say, what are your real thoughts on this?
Oh, the amount of messages I see on Cam's Instagram, not that I've got his Instagram on, but when you're flicking through his comments or his DMs, you see loads of people saying, what's that bike? Tell me about the Ribble. Is the Ribble any good? And I guess it's the same with you. Like, you'll be associated with that, and it's more about the association rather than it is you saying, here's the Canyon, it's on offer now. If you use the code vegan10, you get 10% off. It's about just that association with it and seeing those inspirational videos that you make that people, it's subliminally in there. Oh, Tyler rides a Canyon. I'm going to go and look into a Canyon.
Right. But what's so crazy is how it's getting to be where brands have more money allocated towards influencers than they do general marketing. So it's like print, radio, TV, like that used to be 95% of the budget. And now it's like flipped, right? Because if you can get, the right influencer to be behind your brand, it's a win-win for everyone. The company spends less money. The influencer, what is life-changing money for them is just a drop in the bucket for the sponsor.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, we're in a really crazy time right now where the amount of people that are making decent money just making content is, it's
scary.
It is. I guess it is kind of scary. It is sort like you see the real top YouTubers like Logan Paul and whatever those other guys, like, they're making 10 million a month. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. But I also think that there's like a part of your soul, dude, that you need to like keep intact. And so I often bounce between like, man, if I had chosen a different path, like a general path, like a Casey Neistat path, I might be getting 20 million views a month. Because I work just like I feel like my content's on par. You know what I mean? It's not like I know how to make good content, but I've double niched myself a little bit. And so the growth is kind of capped within, the cycling community. But
it's a big community though.
But it's what I love. You know what I mean? And so it at the end of the day, if I make a video of me driving around in a Tesla and pranking someone with a fake turd on the ground, dude, what the hell? What am I, dude? Like that's, maybe you got paid hella money for it, but that's just like, imagine being a grown ass adult and being like, I got to go to work, and then put a funny hat on and be like, whoa, 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 and like 8-year-olds are clapping.
Yeah. Well, that's where the reviews are. Yeah. It's you want to be able to go to bed at night and sleep knowing your integrity is still intact. Mine is just about intact, and yet I still don't get paid for any of the. I don't have the sponsors that you boys have.
But it's not sustainable, though. It's not sustainable. You know, if you're making content because you know it's going to bang on YouTube and get 10 million views, that's not sustainable. You'll do it for a few months, you'll get paid, and then you'll be like, fuck, like, this isn't making me happy, you know, and I can't keep this up.
I don't know. I'd like to have a go at trying to make that happy. I'd put a hat on and go for 10 minutes if it gets me the views.
You basically already do, mate.
Wow. Well, I don't get the money.
And I guess that's also where it comes into, like, are you a character? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so if you embrace a character, then maybe that's one thing, you know, like, Dr. Disrespect or whatever. Like,
man. I love that guy.
Yeah, dude. Well, he's, you know, he got kicked off Twitch for whatever reason, and now he's on YouTube. And I've just been watching a little bit of his stuff, and it's like, he even said in an interview, he's like, I can't wait to get back into character. And it's like, man, that maybe is a way to do it to where you can separate yourself a little bit and keep your identity, but then like jump into this other thing. But then how, you know, at what point does that blend into like a weird, like, who are you type thing? And I know we're kind of going down a rabbit hole a lot that maybe people don't really care about, but you know, it's, I like riding my bike. I like telling stories. Yeah. And if I can do that, without worrying to put food on my table, you know what I mean? Cause dude, so my channel is like almost 6 years. And I did the math, and the first 3.5 years for the hours I put into YouTube, I was making $2.70. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's like an hour, $2.70 an hour. Like that's, so yep. I put a lot of, you know, in the first year I was negative money, cause it's like, I'm losing money just making content.
So was that your intention? I was going to ask you earlier. Was it your intention? And I'll wrap it up after this one. But was it your intention when you first started? Did you because you got into it in 2014? People were starting to make big money in it. Did you look at that and go, I can have a piece of that, or was it solely just to create content and just put stuff out there?
Well, because it was sort of during the time that I was building a web development business, I had nothing to do. I was just like, so you would work really hard to get a website project. You would work really hard on the project. And then once it was done, you know, you might have 2 months before I pick up another project. Yeah. And so I'm just sitting at my desk, like, what am I supposed to do? So I actually picked up a few like odd jobs. Like I was working like a farmer's market, like cutting fruit. I like worked like this weird business insurance company, consulting them. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah. I had no idea what they did. It was so strange. But anyway, I was just like picking up these weird side jobs. And so then I owned a motorcycle shop that went out of business. I lost everything. I had this existential crisis. And then I had to go and work in a cubicle doing debt management. In 2008 to like 2012 or something like that, some like 3 years. Anyway,
so that's a good time. That was a good time to be doing debt management.
Yeah.
Well, dude, so I knew all about debt because I was in a lot of it, and then I was talking to these people, but during this, there would be times where you just I don't want to talk about debt, but I want to, like, I'm on the clock, so like I got to act like I'm doing some shit. So then I started working in Photoshop, like making funny GIFs that I was selling for virtual money on this like mafia online site. So like I play, like I was a hitman or whatever on this like super nerdy.
Anyway, I used to do the same. I used to play a game called Assassinators, where you would like go through the ranks. You start as a low life, you try and get to the top, which is like a kingpin, and yeah, it sounds pretty similar.
Well, so I was making these like banner GIFs for this community because like people would put a banner like protected by Assassin 849. So anyway, dude, it was
probably the same game.
Dude, it might have been. So like I was just spending time in Photoshop making this shit, and it ended up turning into like I know how to work in Photoshop enough to make websites. Like I didn't go to school.
So
like
that's
I
how
just
you learned how to make a
was,
website.
say it again.
That was how you learned how to make a website through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just messing with graphics and layouts, and, it wasn't so much different. So then I made my first, website layout. And then I had to, in a weekend, I learned CSS enough to take the graphic assets and put them online. You know what I mean? And so, but like, I don't want to sound like I'm amazing. I had no money. I was starving. And so it was like, I had to do something,
Yeah.
And when you have to do something, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, dude, I can't eat today unless I get someone to pay me money. So how do I make this happen? And that was just the tools that I had in my spot. But you know what I mean? So anyway, like when I was trying to do websites and like I didn't have much to do, I remembered back to when I was doing debt and how just playing around on Photoshop made a potential career and saved my ass.
Yeah.
So then I started just messing around with video, and my son, he started riding dirt bikes at 2. Like he was like no training wheels. Like, I mean, the kid has real natural gift.
Yeah.
And so then I was kind of trying to pump up his brand. So I made a brand for him, like an Instagram. I was like videoing him, and we got him sponsors. Like I was all about my son. And I built this brand out of him. And so it was sort of this like crash course on how to build a brand. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I was just, trial and error. And so I'd make these little Instagram videos, and, then I started making YouTube content for him. And then it was just like his trajectory was like, dude, he's going to be the next world champion if he continues on this.
Yeah.
And so then he was 4, and I ended up doing a website for a company that I traded a dirt bike, like a really nice dirt bike for him. But the thing was a fucking rocket, and it was just way too much for a 4-year-old. And so then I put it on him, and it was way too scary, dude.
Yeah.
And so then he kind of didn't want to ride it, but I was like, bro, I put in so much work, ride your bike, And so then we were out at this motorcycle track, and he's trying to play on the playground with a couple of kids, and he's 4. And I'm like pissed because I drove 2 hours, you know what I mean? He's got a brand new dirt bike. I'm like, hey man, we can play on a playground at any time. Like, go to work. Let me make some content.
4-year-old.
And which was terrible, dude. Like, so then we got in the car, and he's like crying, and I'm mad. And I was like, dude, this is not it. I don't want to go down the moto dad path. And so like I had to sort of just deal with this internal realization that I was not living vicariously through him, but I was sort of using him, and I wanted, like, it's out of love, right? So it's out of, I want to give him the best chance at success possible. And so to like, imagine being 12 years old and handed an Instagram account that has 1 million followers. And it's okay, dude, you got it, bro. Like you don't have to ever work another day in your life if you are willing. So that was kind of the idea, was like that I was going to set him up with like this trust fund of social media followers and sponsorships. But so then I was like, I got to back off, dude. And so then I told myself, I'm never going to ask him to ride again. He has to ask me.
Yeah.
And he didn't for 3 years. So like just straight up was like, he never asked me and never even. And so then I was like, oh dude, I was pushing him way too hard. So then I took this energy that I had on him and I put it on myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's see what I can do, with my own personal brand, and sort of just, went down that path and started making the dumbest videos. My first video is like the stupidest thing ever.
YouTube,
just so many of them were just absolute turds. But what I did was, and then like I've told this story before, but like Duran Rider was really big at the time. Like he was getting hundreds of thousands of views every video. And, people didn't know how to pronounce his name, so they just typed into Google the vegan cyclist or to YouTube.
Yeah.
And so then I saw all this SEO,
Yeah.
value to the vegan cyclist. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do that. I super regret it now. Like I really regret that name, because I'd say every 10th comment I get on YouTube is like, I would watch you if your name wasn't the vegan cyclist. And so, like I definitely regret that a little bit, but, I don't know. I just started making videos. Like I would type in, so at the time, it's different now, but Google had a keyword search you could use, and I could type in, say, power meters, and then it would give me all the top searches. So it would say how to get started with a power meter, 12,000 searches a month.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make a video about how to get started with a power meter. I'm going to title it that.
Yeah.
Because that's what people are searching for.
Yeah.
And so then a couple videos I had actually did pretty well when I had like 10 subscribers, because people would search how to get started with a power meter.
Yeah.
And there's my piece of shit video about it, not knowing what I was talking about at all. I just put it out there.
Well, that's essentially what a GCN do when I started working for them. That's essentially what they did. Just went and down the route of searching what everybody else was searching, make content around it, and it is a good way to start. Tyler, listen, we're gonna have to come back for a part 2, because this one has been by far the longest podcast we've ever had. So,
dude, we're just getting started, bro.
I know we are, but we'll be back for part 2. How long is it going to take us to record that? I have no idea. But I want to say a huge, massive thank you to the vegan cyclist, Tyler Pierce. Tyler, thank you so much for coming on, man. We hope to see you again soon, all right?
I appreciate it. When all this COVID stuff dies down, dude, I got to get out to your neck of the woods.
You should do.
And ride.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Amazing.
Likewise.
Cameron.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, mate. And we will see you all again shortly for another gruppetto. Facts.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't fucking talk about half stuff we wanted to talk about there. But...
No.
Oh, man.